Back to Miami, Florida. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, and we're getting set for the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship. Mike McCallum, David Braxton. Let us join the ring announcer, Alan Tour, for the introduction.
Referee. For this world title bout, we have the mandatory 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect, and 3 knockdowns in any one round constitutes termination of the fight. The judges, as assigned by the World Boxing Association, Mr. Hector Hernandez from Mexico, Mr. Rogelio Perez from Panama, and the man in charge of this title bout, your referee, Mr. Roberto Ramirez of Puerto Rico. My name is Alan Tour, and I'm your announcer.
Well, that's the first time we've seen a ring announcer introduce himself.
Bit of modesty there. The window.
Alan will be hosting several push shows next week.
Wearing the gold trunks. He weighed in this morning at an even 154 pounds. With wins over Tony Serta and James Hard Rock Green, the WBA has made him the #1 contender in this title bout. With a professional record of 34 wins, 1 loss, 24 wins by knockout, from Detroit, Michigan, here is David Machine Gun Braxton. David Braxton. And now let's meet the world champion. Wearing the white trunks with the gold trim. He too weighed in at 154 pounds. Originally from Kingston, Jamaica, the only Jamaican in history to hold the world championship. Now fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, with a professional record of 24 wins, no defeats, 21 wins by knockout. Let's welcome the world champion, the body snatcher, Mike McCallum. Mike McCallum, 15 rounds for the junior middleweight championship.
The scoring is on the 10-point must system. There is no standing 8. There is a mandatory 8. And the 3 knockdown rule in effect.
I emphasize once again, when I say break, step back 1 step without striking any point. Okay? That's it.
Referee Roberto Ramirez out of Puerto Rico, veteran of championship fights, including Hearns and Cuevas and Chandler Lujan, Arguello Mancini. One-time paratrooper and featherweight boxer as a youngster. Roberto Ramirez, and the judges Hector Hernandez of Mexico, Rogelio Perez of Panama. Scheduled for 15, Mike McCallum and David Braxton. The only loss on the record of Braxton, dropped a hard-fought decision to Dwayne Thomas back in February of 1981, a controversial split decision. Thomas is now a teammate of Braxton, both fighting for Emmanuel Stewart at the Crunk Gym in Detroit. Since that 1 loss back in '81, Braxton has won 22 in a row, including an upset of world-ranked James Hard Rock Green. At the time, he was world-ranked. Mike McCallum's biggest victory, he knocked out the former WBA junior middleweight title holder Ayub Kalule in the 7th round, and that led to Kalule announcing his retirement. McCallum often criticized for being a bit too careful, not going for the knockout, although he has a knockout record, but that's the result of a buildup of punches rather than a single blow.
And a building up of his career. He was fighting inferior fighters. He is very patient, as we will see. He's very calm about it. He works and he works. He expects to be here the full 15. Braxton, on the other hand, wants to get this over with. He's got to do things that get McCallum out of his rhythm and out of his fight plan. Now, you got to remember, both these men have fought many around in the gym together. They know each other. It's going to take a little bit of time to figure each other out now because they've changed over the last year, and they're trying to trap each other right now. A series of feints, a series of half moves to see what the other guy's got. Not much happening right now, except in the minds of both fighters. They're doing an awful lot of thinking right now.
Just under a minute left in this first round from Miami. And it has been a filling out process in this opening round. You go along with what both McCallum and Braxton said, no advantage in that they do know each other. I know they tried not to give the impression, but I'm told they were not great pals when they were together at Kron.
A great deal of competitiveness goes on in a gymnasium. While it doesn't have a great advantage, it certainly doesn't hurt to know what the other guy's got.
Well, a lot of feinting. Not much else in this first round.
Presented by Old Spice Antiperspirant and new improved stick deodorant.
When I'm in the ring, I want to win. I don't possess maybe one of the greatest puncher, but I'm there for 15 rounds, 10 rounds to fight every second of it. I'll fight for the public. I'm an entertainer. When I go in there, I like to entertain. Everybody's going to say Vito is a good fighter.
And here is Mike McCallum out for round 2 to meet up with David Braxton. How did you score that first round? That's a tough one to score.
Very tough. It was very close. The only reason I gave David Braxton the edge was he was the aggressor. He was doing all the leading, and in an even round when neither one are doing anything to each other, the guy that's leading obviously has the advantage of the aggressor. The harder punches were landed by Braxton. Now, curiously enough, McCallum's corner, Eddie Futch says you're doing it just right. It's your pace. It's your way to fight. So he was satisfied with the first round.
And Braxton attempting to go on the attack. Braxton's last fight this past May in Las Vegas, he stopped Tony Serta in 4 rounds. And Braxton does represent McCallum's most difficult challenge.
Difficult in every way. Difficult because he is a top challenger, and difficult because they know each other, and they come from the same schooling process, the Kronk Gym.
So here is Braxton looking to force the issue.
Well, he's certainly chasing McCallum around. Landing his jab pretty strongly. He's trying to set up his pace and get McCallum off of his rhythm.
Braxton looking to use the jab to set up that right hand.
He's certainly the busier of the two.
And he took a right. Braxton also wide open.
McCallum now looking to load up with the right hand. Having found pay dirt there once, he's looking to do it again.
Coming up on 30 seconds remaining in the second round. It's scheduled for 15.
So far, we've not seen much of the vaunted body attack of the body snatcher, Mike McCallum. Good right hand by Braxton just then.
Final seconds, second round. This for the WBA junior middleweight title.
Last year, car makers spent a record $1 billion in advertising just to tell you how wonderful their cars are. Fortunately, there's a more objective opinion: car owners. According to a recent survey of all cars in America, import or domestic, Subaru ranks second only to Mercedes in customer satisfaction. And that's the kind of advertising money can't buy. Subaru. Inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Third round. Come on. Get up.
And this is round 3, and Bertie, we just overheard in the corner David Braxton, who complained that he got something in his eye, perhaps took a thumb from McCallum.
Well, McCallum's been jabbing with a great deal of intensity. Sometimes his glove is open. It could well be a thumb.
Mike McCallum, an excellent technical fighter. Very fast, throws precision punches. But it is Braxton looking to set the pace once again as we open up in this third round.
I'm beginning to wonder whether Braxton isn't going to burn himself out too brightly here at the beginning. He certainly fought at a very fast pace, and McCallum has just been guarding and taking his time, trying to land that hard right hand. I just wonder if Braxton can keep this up for 15 rounds. I know McCallum can.
Left hook delivered by McCallum. Again, the left hand of Mike McCallum.
McCallum is weathering all those punches. He keeps his eyes right on his opponent, and when the chance comes, he lands a good, devastating right hand. He just did again, and Braxton's in a little trouble.
And McCallum going headhunting here this afternoon instead of the usual strategy of going to the body.
Well, McCallum's got to work his way out of trouble because that did stun him, that right hand. All right, now that's called gutting it out.
Less than a minute remaining. This the third round, scheduled for 15.
McCallum knows he can land that right hand now. There he goes. Braxton's done most of the fighting and taken all of the punishing shots he's wearing out, and it's just the third round.
So after they checked each other out in the opening round, then Braxton forced the action in round 2, opened up in this third round, attempting to do the same, but Mike McCallum landing the telling blows.
But don't stand up too straight when inside. Bend. Yeah, bend some. Straight up. Yeah, too straight up, huh?
And let's look at that first punch. This is the one that set up Braxton. He was almost gone. Right on the punch.
And a good third round for Mike McCallum. And here is David Braxton out for round number 4. Braxton is 31 years old, out of Detroit. Record of 34-1, 24 by knockout. He comes off a fourth round KO, stopping Tony Serta this past May. Mike McCallum in a tune-up back in June. A second round knockout of Marcus Martinez. Last December, stopped Luigi Manchio in 13 in Milan. And last October, Madison Square Garden in New York, he won the title with that unanimous decision over Sean Mannion. That was a shutout. One judge had it 149-123.
McCallum beginning to exert his mastery right now. That last round took an awful lot out of Braxton. You can see Braxton's punches no longer have that zip that they had in the first 2 rounds. McCallum just careful, just waiting.
What does the fight doctor scorecard show?
I have Braxton ahead, very slim margin, 29-28 unofficially. But that last round was a big one for McCallum.
Scoring on the 10-point must system. It is handled by the referee and 2 judges. And there's McCallum to the body.
Oh, 3 hard body shots. And the referee, Roberto Ramirez, says, keep him up, Mike.
Oh, those are tough shots landed by McCallum, who finished it off with an uppercut.
Have taken everything out of Braxton. He did not respond well to those body shots. And that's why they call him the body snatcher. Big crowd here, including most of the top promoters have shown up. The Don King production crew, Bob Goodman and Duke Durden. Bob Arum, top right, here goes McCallum launching that attack.
McCallum with combinations, and Braxton was hurt.
Braxton is cut alongside the nose and is just barely hanging on.
As you can see, 20 seconds to go in this 4th round, and Braxton looks weary. Mike McCallum unloading on David Braxton in this 4th round. And Braxton will last the round. We're going to stay right here. A big round for Mike McCallum.
Brutal punishment for White, Braxton, and a lot of work to be done in the corner by Citro. Let's listen.
You can't go for no punch. Sit down and just block your punches and turn with everything you got. You understand? Go for power now, okay? Go for power. I don't want no hustling now. The hustling is over. Okay? Wait a minute. Just take your time. Don't waste no energy.
Well, we wondered
Take your time. Come up.
when the body snatcher would begin to do his work. And Mike McCallum, after going upstairs in the early going, now successfully going to the body, and it has paid off.
It certainly has. It debilitated Braxton a great deal and opened up the avenue for the uppercut. What about these?
You notice, Ferdy, it is standing room only in the corner of David Braxton. I counted 8 people in the corner of Braxton.
Most of those are promoters that came to get their share of McCallum, I think.
Well, Lou Duva, one of the former managers, one of the several former managers of Mike McCallum, once said, if all of McCallum's former managers and trainers would attend McCallum's fights, they would all be sellouts.
Well, as we started a list, Bob Arum, before the action got hot, Chris Dundee is here from Miami, Lucian Chen, the great promoter from Jamaica, Phil Alessi from Tampa, Mickey Duff from London, and the Duvers from the main event. That's quite a collection of important boxing promoters here to see Mike McCallum today. Now, what does the great Emanuel Stewart advise? Time to stop hustling. He said it's down to get some power in there and try to stop McCallum from coming on. I just don't see the same power in Braxton in the first, now as you saw in the first 2 rounds.
This is round 5, just over a minute gone by. Vying for the WBA junior middleweight title. McCallum defending his title for the 2nd time. Left hook by Braxton did not have much on it. But Braxton following with the right hand and showing some signs.
Okay, break. Come on.
Braxton giving it a good shot to get this round back. He sees it slipping away. But McCallum, remember, has got that patience. He just waits it out.
Good right hand by Braxton. McCallum holding Braxton so he could not get off the right hand. McCallum coming at Braxton from all angles.
Oh, he fights from all angles, and he just waits you out till you get tired, and then he comes on. Braxton very tired now, bending over, so those uppercuts of McCallum will start to land.
But Braxton, who appeared to be on the verge of going down at the end of round 4, able to come back strong, although another cut, this time over the left eye, has been suffered by David Braxton.
Raise your hand. You got it. Raise your hand. You know it. You feel confident, secure.
If you want to feel confident, raise your hand. If you want to feel secure, raise your hand. If you want protection that helps you feel dry all day, raise your hand and reach for sure.
Confident, confident, dry and secure. Raise your hand if you're sure. Raise your hand if you're sure.
Serious repair work over the eye of this man, David Braxton, between rounds as we head to round 6.
A lot of work has to be done in the corner by an excellent corner man, Ralph Citro. Stewart telling him, you got to stay on top of this guy. He won the round, but is losing the fight in that McCallum is just waiting to land that right hand, and he is powerful, whereas Braxton has not much on his punches.
What does your scorecard show?
I have Braxton ahead, 48-47. Oh, good right hand by Braxton. Curious how McCallum is either so calm or cool that he just lets the whole round go by before he starts to fight. Just when he had Braxton almost knocked out, he let the last round, the 5th, go by and Braxton take it.
But he holds to his style, which obviously has been successful. Very patient, waits it out, and usually builds up the points.
Reminds you a great deal of Eusebio Pedrosa, who just can't get out of his game plan. He just stays there. He knows he's going to be there 15 rounds, and he doesn't care. Well, with the look of that cut, which does not look good, over the left eye of Braxton, and the degree of exhaustion you see in Braxton, I would doubt that this would go to 15 rounds. Stranger things have happened.
We are live from Tamiami Park in Miami. Marv Albert and the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. Saw McCallum complain about a low blow.
Well, he has no right to complain. He landed some thunderous low blows in that last exchange. In the last round. There's another low blow by McCallum, right under the B, where it says Braxton on his trunks.
Less than a minute remaining in this 6th round.
Well, you have the feeling Braxton just had a zip on his punches. He's certainly throwing them and landing them. Ooh, nice uppercut by Braxton.
His combinations that began with the shot to the body. Coming up on 10 seconds remaining in the 6th round.
Don't hold, come on.
We'll be back right after these messages.
This bud's for everybody who sets them up just so they can knock them down. They're league bowlers, and they know that when you join a league, you get rolling. The competition, the excitement with good times to spare. You find it all in the leagues at your local bowling center. And league bowlers can compete in the Budweiser Hall of Fame tournament coming this winter. So join a league and get rolling. For all you do, this bud's for you.
On to round 7 for the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship. Mike McCallum defending his title against David Braxton. Mike McCallum comes in at 24-0, 21 by knockout out of Kingston, Jamaica, now living in Brooklyn. David Braxton, 34-1, 24 by KO. And among the crowd here in Miami, Don Johnson, co-star of Miami Vice, Michael Talbot. So we have Crockett and Zweiton on hand. Ferdy, incidentally, was up for the romantic lead for Miami Vice, a little-known fact, but was just aced out by Don Johnson.
I ended up with a gator. Right now, the cut that's beginning to dribble blood has not been a factor in this fight, although it looked like it was going to be. Great corner work by Ralph Citro has kept it closed. McCallum again sticking to his plan, as we thought at the top of the show, an even fight, a battle of the wills, and McCallum is not being taken out of his game plan. He just keeps coming like old man Ruth.
What about the heat factor? It is better than 90 degrees outdoors, and with or without the television lights, it has, I would imagine, somewhere in the area of 110 degrees at least in the ring.
It is very hot here. The air conditioner has not worked. The lights are hot. That's all in the favor of McCallum, who's from the islands where it's hot all the time in Jamaica. This round is vintage McCallum. He's got Braxton tired, but he's just boxing, whipping along. No big offensive, no big desire to him. Great right hand. Now what? Timeout from the referee to have the doctor go up and look at the cut.
All right, referee Roberto Ramirez calling for the timeout in this championship fight. Under the WBA rules, the referee can stop the bout.
You hear, huh? Okay.
Well, we've heard that before in other situations, but the ringside physician just said one more round. So this certainly puts David Braxton in a desperation situation.
Well, Teddy Struhl, the commissioned doctor here, has seen an awful lot of boxing. He said one more round if it continues like this, thereby giving the corner man some time to work on it. It really doesn't look that bad from here, does it? I mean, we have seen some monstrous gashes continue to fight. It just doesn't look that bad right now.
Easy for you to say. So we're closing in on the end of round 7.
All you gotta do is smell the coffee, splash on Old Spice. Now you're moving, isn't it nice? Standing tall now, you're doing it right. Pour out a handful, splash on some spice.
Nobody sends more guys out there than America's favorite, unmistakably masculine Old Spice.
Now you're moving, don't think twice. Splash on the feeling, splash on some spice.
Well, the cut over the left eye of David Braxton, a major factor as we get underway in round 8. Mike McCallum defending his WBA junior middleweight title. David Braxton in big trouble.
The venerable corner man, Eddie Futch, said, you've got this. All you got to do is pop at that eye and move. It's a cruel way to end a fight, but that cut is on the eyelid. It does not look particularly deep. It's not gushing blood, but in the opinion of Teddy's crew, one more round, and we'll see what happens. Ooh, good uppercut.
And McCallum is taking aim and right on target with the left hand.
Well, he's got an educated left hand, and that's one thing he is good at, popping and moving.
And the referee calling a timeout. Roberto Ramirez checking it out and is satisfied that it is okay.
Braxton now has to go for broke. Braxton now has to gamble. He cannot afford to wait for the doctor to stop this. He might as well let it all go out, and that's what he's doing.
Meanwhile, McCallum sticking and moving. Good left hand by Braxton.
You know, the problem is Braxton just has no steam in those punches.
Meanwhile, you can note the referee Ramirez continues to check the eye of Braxton, continues to lean in.
Doing an excellent job. Look at his legs.
Less than a minute to go. Round 8, scheduled for 15. Marv Albert and the Fight Doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. From Miami, we are live on NBC Sports World. That's it. He has called it. Roberto Ramirez says it is all over. He did not like the severity of the cut. So Mike McCallum has successfully defended his WBA Junior Middleweight Championship. He has stopped David Braxton. It is called late in round 8. Referee Ramirez on top of it throughout. He continued to check it out and finally made the decision saying that's the story. Mike McCallum retaining his WBA Junior Middleweight title. We'll be back to hear from the fighters right after these words. Back in Miami, moments ago, Mike McCallum able to successfully defend his WBA Junior Middleweight title by stopping David Braxton at 226 of round number 8. So McCallum now 25-0, 22 by knockout. Just a case of wearing down David Braxton, who had suffered that cut over the left eye. The referee, Roberto Ramirez, kept checking it out the last couple of rounds and finally decided that was it. Mike McCallum is alongside the Fight Doctor, so let's go to the ring. Here's Ferdy.
Champ, the one thing you do great is go to the body, but you didn't go to the body for the first 3 or 4 rounds. Why not?
So my corner told me, this guy, the whole guy, Golden Iron, he's coming. I heard he was training to go to the body. Thought he know I'm good at the body. So I tricked him. He was looking for me to go to the body. I started popping that jab.
You tricked him?
I know he was vulnerable for the cut and everything. I just put it together.
Once you saw that cut, were you confident that you would win?
I know it's all over, but I know I'm going to live in that round. 15 more rounds. However more rounds going to be, I'm going to live in it. Pop, pop.
Eddie, as soon as you saw that cut, your instruction was to bop and get away.
Box and move. Box and move. Hit him with straight punches.
Are you ready for the guys like Tommy Hearns? Are you ready for the guys
I
like
won Thomas Hearns.
He's been ready.
I had something to prove today to Emmanuel Stewart and the Crown team. No grudge. I told him my revenge is winning. Keep winning. I left him. I become a champion. Number 1, I defend my title. Number 2, I'm still winning. Yeah, I know he hated because everybody wanted to be the winner. I must apologize to the people in Italy. I know my promoter Don King will get it together so that we can fight possibly in Italy one more time.
All right. Congratulations once again, champion.
Can I say one thing before?
Yes.
The people in Jamaica is watching me for the first time. Good. I must say hello to my mama. Hi, Savannah, happy birthday. To all my friends, the Wilson boys in Brooklyn, and all my friends in Brooklyn, Jamaica. Mike McCallum did it again.
Back to Marv Albert at ringside.
All right, thank you, Freddie. In fact, today a week-long cultural festival begins here in Miami, celebrating Jamaica's 23rd year of independence from Great Britain. So a happy day for Mike McCallum and the folks back in Jamaica. Coming up in a moment, a unique look at the fight from the point of view of what took place in the corners. Record